So guys, something very terrible happened on Thursday, 27 March 2025. About 25 Muslim men were said to be traveling from Rivers State to their hometown in Kano State when they got intercepted by some vigilantes in Edo State. And what followed after this was something they never would have imagined. According to reports, some of these men were hunters who initially moved from their hometown in Kano State to Rivers State in order to continue their alleged hunting activities. It is not clear how long they've been in Rivers State, and not much is also known about their activities while in Rivers State. However, on that Thursday, the 25 of them were said to have boarded a Dangote cement trailer that was supposedly returning to Kano State. Now, it is not uncommon for Northerners to join their brothers in trucks or trailers whenever they are traveling up north. To them, this is often seen as a way of cutting down their transportation costs, since they could join their fellow Northerners and still get to their destination without spending much money in the process. In this case, it was said that these 25 men were traveling back to join the Salah celebrations in their hometown in Kano State. However, when they got to a community in Uromi, Edo State, around 1:30 p.m., their trailer was intercepted by the Edo State Security Corps and local vigilantes so as to conduct a search on the vehicle. As the security team searched the trailer, they found some locally made den guns commonly used by hunters. They also found axes, cutlasses, and other equipment commonly used by hunters in the northern region. The vigilantes were said to have raised an alarm, accusing these men of being kidnappers. This alarm caught the attention of the youths in the area, who came out en masse to grab about 16 of them. What followed after their capture was a barbaric and gruesome act of mob justice that was too disturbing to be described in this video. 6 out of the 25 men died in a fire, while a total of 16 of them perished that Thursday afternoon. The policemen attached to the community were called to the scene while the attack was ongoing, and they arrived just in time to rescue about 4 survivors who were then rushed to the hospital for immediate treatment. This heinous action sparked nationwide outrage and fear of a reprisal attack by the Northerners living in the Uromi community. To avoid this situation, the Hausa community in Uromi was said to have held an emergency peace meeting to address the situation and prevent any further tragedy. However, this still didn't stop the Northerners in the area from registering their displeasure by taking to the streets to protest the gruesome murders. The Edo State governor had to quickly visit the scene to assure the angry residents that justice would be served. The president also ordered an investigation into uncovering all the culprits involved in the gruesome murders. At the time of making this report, about 10 suspects had been arrested in connection with the deadly attack. Now, there is a chance that those 16 Northerners were probably innocent, since pictures have been made available online showing some of them celebrating the animals they successfully hunted while in Rivers State. However, it is believed that the reason why the angry mob turned to jungle justice was because their explanations didn't make any sense to them. It didn't make any sense for the alleged kidnappers to travel all the way from Kano State to Rivers State just for hunting. There are bushes and forests in Kano State or other neighboring states in the north, so for them to travel such a long distance to the south just to hunt probably sounded like a poorly cooked excuse to them. From what the Uromi people know, hunters are usually people who are native or indigenous of the area, because it is believed that these are the people who would have a good understanding of the community, the bushes or forests in the area, and the kind of animals to expect whenever they go hunting, but not foreigners who know next to nothing about their community. Also, the mere fact that they were traveling with guns of any kind through a community that has been facing serious issues of kidnapping and murder without much help coming in sight may have further heightened their suspicions of what these 16 men really do for a living. It would have been better if the angry mob handed all of them to the police, but again, there have been instances where criminals are released after being handed over to the police. The residents probably knew about this and therefore decided to take matters into their own hands. Kidnapping and attacks by herdsmen have become a serious issue in the Uromi community and Nigeria as a whole. Farmers in the rural areas are no longer going to their farms because of the continuous attacks by these herdsmen. The sad part is that they don't just allow their cows to destroy the farmland. The herdsmen themselves also murder these farmers and force themselves on the women whenever they attempt to speak out against these atrocities. It is believed that the people of this community had finally grown tired of waiting for their government to do something about the killings after their numerous protests, and therefore decided to fight back this time around. On the part of their possible innocence, there is still a possibility that these 16 men were innocent. According to reports, they were all Hausa men, but the people probably mistook them to be men of the tribe that is commonly associated with all the atrocities caused by herdsmen. If we look at the situation without sentiments and emotions, these 16 men were less likely to be kidnappers because, first of all, the kind of guns they had in their possessions were the type that are usually carried around by hunters. Also, the fact that none of them attempted to fight back when they noticed that their lives were in danger by at least firing these weapons may also go to show that they were probably not kidnappers, because if the kidnappers we are all familiar with would be daring enough to exchange fire with the police and army, then they wouldn't have issues doing so with civilians. However, the problem still lies in the fact that they all traveled with these unlicensed guns through a region that has been suffering incessant kidnapping attacks and murders by herdsmen. It would interest you to know that this tragic incident is happening about 4 weeks after the Edo state government demolished a kidnappers' den in the same Uromi community. So the whole kidnapping thing happening in Uromi was a real issue, and this may have forced the youths to take matters into their own hands. As it stands now, we don't really know what the truth is, whether they were truly hunters who left the north to ply their trade in the south, or if they were real kidnappers returning home after their atrocities. What we can at least agree on is the fact that what the angry mob did to them was truly horrible. Jungle justice is bad and should not be encouraged, because sometimes it could lead to the loss of innocent lives. Even if the suspects are truly guilty, it's not in our power to give such punishments.
Plenty no good at all. Anything where you go, soldier no go beat, police no go beat. As automatic order, nobody bad see, nobody no go beat. Sir, for here, for on the kingdom, they give plenty power. Say, not be security. You say you go beat, you just pass soldier, you don't pass police. Plenty oh, this competition where you for this country, where you say you don't go stop.
So we thank the governor, we thank all his entrants. We thank the commissioner of police, the director SS and the brigade commander. Those are the people who brought the peace here. And we allow them to hear what the governor will tell us. Inshallah, the governor promised that nobody tomorrow, this thing will repeat itself. It can never repeat itself. And you should know that I thank you by giving us listening ear. I'm the overall chairman of the Hausa community Edo State, and you people have given us the listening ear. We thank Allah, we thank all of you. So let us hear from His Excellency. Thank you.
Allah ya kawo, Allah ya doka. Baka ba? To. So let us take things easy. We will reason together. We'll go inside palace now and discuss with leaders so that after we can address you people. Thank you very much.
Come on. What's in happen now like this? No be here. It's not the way just happen now like this for me like this. See everywhere. They don't lock stores everywhere. Outside just full town like this. Outside just full town. See town. Nobody open store. Everywhere lock. Inside market they lock. See road. And they go that side now. People just they run. They just block everywhere. No movement. See stores they lock. Stores they lock. And how many people don't do anything about this things now? See stores just they lock. Can you imagine? Outside now they can't get Oromi. Things just they happen everywhere. See lockdown.
Share your thoughts on this case in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching and stay safe.